Firstly, can you give me a bit of background as to the Junior State Cup and what the booking of the Northern Conference for Dubbo will mean for the city?
It's very exciting, actually. We actually put in a bid for it a couple of years ago. They normally do a 3-year bid. This is New South Wales Touch does a 3-year bid, and we actually applied for it a couple of years ago, and we weren't successful. Port Macquarie won the bid, so they had the bid for the next 3 years. Unfortunately for Port Macquarie, it had too much rain in Port Macquarie, and they couldn't actually run it last year or this year. So there was a big discussion around the process and about that third year, and there was a get-out clause in that contract if New South Wales Touch believed that they couldn't then deliver the third year, and there was a big risk associated with that, they could take that off them. Now, obviously, that's not great for Port Macquarie, but it's fantastic for Dubbo because they then went back and talked to other cities that had put bids in previously and basically asked those various cities to rebid just for a 1-year bid this time to do the third year of that Port Macquarie contract. We were pretty excited about that. We were disappointed last time we missed out, obviously, and we were able to attract that particular carnival to come to Dubbo. So it's the New South Wales Touch Junior State Cup Northern Conference. They have 2 conferences, a North and a South, but that's pretty exciting. We'll see probably 10,000 people come to Dubbo over the dates next year, 24 to 26th of February.
And I suppose, what sort of investment has Council put forward to ensure that those visitors can experience Dubbo at its best?
Well, a couple of parts of that. When you talk about investment, a lot of the time when you attract a big event, be an NRL match, for example, the standard fee for an NRL match is usually around $300,000 you've got to pay to an NRL club. Other events want you to pay money to them. We took a different approach to this one. When we talked to New South Wales Touch, we said we don't think it's appropriate for Dubbo Regional Council just to hand over wads of cash to New South Wales Touch. We believe it's actually better for the council, better for the community, and better for New South Wales Touch if we just make it really easy for them. So what we did was we said, we'll make sure that everything's ready. We've got all the fields, we'll make sure they're all marked, we'll have the temporary grandstands in place, we'll have the PA system, because our logic was it's a really big deal to go and organise an event of this size. And when you've got the committee that will be organising it, mainly based out of Sydney, it makes it pretty hard to organise all that from a remote area. So we've made it very easy for them. And obviously they talked to other cities about putting in this bid for 1 year. And obviously at the end of all that, they thought that it was the best thing to basically have Dubbo to make it easy for them. And obviously that injection for our economy is worth a lot of money. So we estimate that the number of visitors that we'll have for the time frame that we'll have them will probably inject $7 million into our economy, which is absolutely fantastic. I must point out as well that the Dubbo Touch Football Association has actually been very supportive, and they've helped out the New South Wales Touch organisation with some money as well to make it more cost effective to come. So that's great to see a community organisation be so focused on bringing the event to Dubbo that they're actually putting money into it as well.
And I mean, more to the economic side of things, I suppose not only is Dubbo the great base for the bid because you've got such a strong community spirit in relation to football, can you give me a bit of a word on how strong a part of Dubbo's culture this football or touch football really is?
Touch football in Dubbo is huge. You don't have to go down to our touch football ovals and see how much touch football is being played, and you realise just how important it is to Dubbo in general. And that's why we've got a really strong touch football association. That's why they were very keen to have this event here. And we've had other junior events, smaller events than this, that have been held in Dubbo in the past, and they've been very successful. So again, that collaboration and that community spirit, I think, is all part of that. And that was all part of it with New South Wales Touch as well. They knew what a strong local organisation we had. They knew how many players we had playing touch football in Dubbo, and they knew how keen council was to have it here. The other part that's really important is that this isn't going to just be beneficial for Dubbo. We'll have probably 4,000 competitors and match officials. We'll have 6,000 supporters. We can't accommodate those 10,000 people that will be here. So we'll see motels in Narromine and Wellington and Gilgandra. I think even as far away as parks, people will be staying in parks to basically be a part of this event because we just simply don't have enough motel beds in Dubbo. Already I've heard stories about people that have been contacting friends in Dubbo saying that they want to come over and stay, and if you've got a spare room or a spare floor, they can roll out some sleeping bags. So I think not only will all the accommodation providers be full, but lots of people have those rooms, those spare floors taken up as well. But that's all great for cafes, for hospitality locations. People probably will even do a bit of retail shopping while it's there. So I think really strong for our economy.
Yeah, very good to hear. And I imagine also there's been a lot of local talent that's gone on to play in things like the NRL. So, I mean, how good is it to see these juniors coming through those similar pathways, particularly our Dubbo locals?
Well, it is a really good way to inspire people, isn't it? It's one of those things that when you see people playing at a high level, and these are juniors, but they're playing obviously at a very high level, when you see that there, it obviously inspires people. It gets people excited about the sport. There's no doubt about it that you'll see after an event like this, registrations go up. Although when I talk to the WA Touch Football Association, I'm not sure how many more registrations they can handle. There's only so many people they can have go through and so many playing fields that we've got. But I'm sure we'll see increased interest in touch football after this event.
And I suppose the last question from me is the Mayor going to be pulling on the boots next February to delight the crowds?
Well, I'm not sure about delighting the crowds. I've certainly played a bit of touch over the years, but the hamstrings are getting a bit old now. But if they've got a match for the councillors of the state, then I'm sure I'm happy to play in that particular event.
We might have to book it in. Thank you, Matthew. That's everything from me. Thank you for making the time to speak with me.
Thank you.